Namaste. My name is Rebecca Love, and I have a story to tell. And I'm going to tell my personal story now because it needs to be told, and I'm being guided to tell it. So, I am a 15-year healer. I am one of the healers' chosen few. Um, the one that was, you know, many were chosen, few were called. Um, I was called. Um, So I'm here to teach the chosen and the ones that were called, the awakened, um, new methods and healing techniques that will change things drastically around the world. And I wouldn't have believed it myself if it didn't happen, but I'm going to start with the crucifixion as the healer's crucifixion. And um, it needs to be said because it it is very important to um, this technique to understand it. So we'll start there. So, and I'm not playing victim because I prevailed, and Source kicked everybody's ass behind me after it was all over and done. So, but I still need to tell the story to fully get um, the importance of it out. So I have been learning the system 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 15 years. And then all of a sudden, my father died. And it was wild. I met my a new partner. Um, Prior to that, it started 2022. A girl, she just out of nowhere just wanted to destroy me. And for about 8 months, it went on just constant, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages, just spiritual warfare coming at me like crazy. I was watching my father die of cancer at the time, and I didn't just met, but I met my new partner. Was back in my hometown. So eventually I decided I would move down there to not just escape that, but to start over. And I didn't realize what I was walking into. Um, it was nothing short of a true healer's crucifixion that I survived. The only difference was they could not kill you on sight anymore, but I almost died probably about 20, 25 times throughout it all. Um, Source ended up hiding me and even hidden this energy, this spiritual um, entity that was chasing me, trying to stop me from learning this. Um, it moved through everyone I know. Everyone, I was left by myself. This thing even moved through my children when they were dropped low enough. I hid in my room for 6 months. My everything, my whole life was destroyed. Okay, every time I would rise higher, um, it would it would attack harder, um, and it took me a while to understand that um, it was me feeding it. So I was feeding it reactions in the physical form of it, reactions, and as was my partner, and the more I empowered my partner, after I had cut off from it because the attacks were getting so strong, it didn't make any sense how powerful it had gotten, but it did. And after I had cut off, I was empowering my partner, and my partner was still reacting to it, the person. Therefore, giving him our energy together, it was being poured out of me into him and then into this demon. okay? Until this demon got so powerful that it was able, it could drop us. We could get a message or a phone call, and we could feel it latch on cognitively to our heads. We could feel the cord. That's how strong this thing had gotten. That it would drop us to, we would get confused, we would get depressed, suicidal, we would start fighting. The spiritual attacks were so horrific. I think maybe probably about 10 times I almost killed myself, and I didn't know why. Me and my partner would be completely bliss, featherbed bliss. I would bring him in his higher self. We would be having the most fantastic time together. And then a message would come in, and bam, we were both confused, arguing with each other. It was controlling our minds. There is no other way to describe it. It was the most terrifying thing I'd ever been through. So it didn't just stop with our minds. It destroyed me. It destroyed my reputation. The things that were said were the most backwards things that you would ever even think of saying about me. My children, multiple times, it tried to have my children taken away. Police involvement. There was no reason. It was just delusional, demonic, trying to get me to kill myself thing. The rumors around town. I was child abuser. I'm a healer. Okay. I was drug addict. It would post on my work page that I was a crack addict. So I had to shut my business down. Me and my partner split up because I could no longer handle it. It would move through him. The eyes would go black. My children go black. Everybody I knew, it could penetrate. That's how strong I had made it. And he had made it. And he would not, he could not cut it off. It was too connected to his life that he could not cut it off. And then at the end, the manipulation got so bad that he chose not to. So I had to choose to walk away to save myself, or I wouldn't be here today. Okay? This thing, from the second it met me, I had no contact with it, no communication with it, but its view of me was its nightmare. And me and my ex-partner could not understand nightmare. Like, I don't even argue the situation. I ignore it because I learned very quickly that I'm feeding it, right? It did everything in its power to destroy me, my life, my reputation, my career, my health, my mental health, my relationship. It destroyed my children's view upon their mother for a while there, because the CIS and the police, their children, they didn't know any better. No weapons formed against me prospered, but it was still happening. It was moving through my children. It was moving through my partner's children. It was moving through my family. It was moving through everybody. I had nobody to trust. I could not trust anybody. I was legitimately alone. It moved through my best friend who I was living with. I ended up having to move out of that place and move to my own apartment, and then it started moving through them. And I'm going to tell you right now that this thing, I know, killed my best friend. It attacked me steady. It drank like crazy. It was black eyes all the time, vicious, violent, to one day, she just she died of it didn't make any sense. It should never have happened, but she just turned yellow, and and without scarring or anything on her liver, she passed away in her sleep after I had left. Of course, it was done apparently with my poor friends. It it destroyed my life, but the way to heaven is through hell. And as much as it destroyed my life, it just pushed me, because the more it attacked, the more I had to learn this process, the more I had to treat myself. The higher in vibration I got, the more my higher self came down, the more brain function, the more everything function that I had, the more power I had, the more God poured down on me, because I would not quit. I would not give up. I would not stop. I was not giving in to that. And I know why now, but it it is real. And the more we feed these things our reactions and our attention and the fight, they always want to fight, right? They always want to fight. It's because we empower them. We empower them. We make them from, insecure, nothing, nobody, to believing it's a lawyer or a doctor, or a completely delusional empowerment of evil that we do. So that's part of my story I'm going to get started with, and it is only a small portion of the things that we survived. Um, and then after once it was just me, I had to completely disconnect from everybody to save myself. That still went on. So namaste. I'm going to stop and take a break from there, because it's extremely triggering for me.